Alexithymia is the difficulty in processing, feeling, understanding, and vocalizing emotions. This is a person that is not in touch with their emotions whatsoever and makes a habit of burying them and avoiding them. And they can also struggle to interpret and understand and recognize emotions in others. This is positively correlated with avoidant attachment. Avoidants are much more significantly likely to experience alexithymia. This is a person that learns at a young age to avoid processing emotions. They were typically emotionally neglected as children. They were not allowed to vocalize or express their emotions as children. Their feelings were often dismissed. So this person never learned the process to actually handle and cope with emotional, relationship, or life stress. They don't know how to process emotions, so they continue to bury their emotions and run from them and not face them. This coincides with avoidant attachment because, again, this is a person that has learned to avoid emotions rather than face them. It's not a medical condition, and there is no official diagnosis and there is no official cure, but studies have shown that extensive therapy can definitely help. This person can learn to unpack those emotions. They can learn to feel these emotions. Because people with alexithymia can even struggle to understand and recognize bodily sensations that coincide with strong emotions. This is a person that just doesn't understand their own feelings. And if they feel something, they don't recognize what it is and they try to run from it and try to bury it. Now, if you notice that the avoidant has a very difficult time expressing emotions, this is very likely what they're experiencing. This person has been trained from childhood to bury emotions, to run from problems, to stick their head in the sand and not deal with any particular issues. Now, there are other people that can experience alexithymia, people with personality disorders, people with autism. However, when it comes to attachment, it is 1000% correlated with avoidant attachment. It is unfortunately a very difficult person to be in a relationship with when they have this condition because you're never in touch with their feelings and they're not in touch with yours. And they often don't vocalize their own needs, wants, because they are not even in touch with what their own needs and wants are. And they're certainly not in touch with their fear. Because when they take these kind of feelings, especially fear, they run from them. They can act impulsively because they don't understand what is motivating them to act. And you have a person that can't even vocalize why they do what they do. And avoiding self-reflection goes hand in hand because self-reflection is the processing of emotions. It is looking within to see why you feel this way, to analyze your thoughts, your feelings, reflect on how your behavior impacts others. That is the processing of emotions, and a person with alexithymia is not going to do that. So this really coincides with avoidant attachment, and it can be a very difficult thing to go through. One more thing. It is worth noting that alexithymia is correlated with dismissive avoidance, far more than fearful avoidance. Dismissive avoidants are much more likely to be out of touch with their own emotions and to be completely detached from all of their feelings. Fearful avoidants are much more likely to recognize their emotions and understand what their emotions are. However, when their fears are triggered, they can still detach and deactivate just like a dismissive avoidant. But a fearful avoidant is much more likely to actually recognize their feelings, and a dismissive avoidant is more likely to bury those feelings from the very start.